You're watching Beyond Your Backyard Now with Erik the Travel Guy for Monday, May 25th, 2020.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Aaron Sega. I love this music. I love that opening. It means it must be 4 p.m. Eastern, Mondays. Another edition of Beyond Your Backyard Now is underway. Thank you for being here. I am Erik the Travel Guy, and we've got a phenomenal program lined up for you today. And, look, at the end of the day, I try to synthesize this information down for you to bring you the absolute most important information that we believe you need to know about. Now, there's a lot of really talented people that work on this program, and believe me, it's difficult to work on a travel program when people can't travel as much as they would like to. But nevertheless, we endure every single week. On our YouTube channel, you'll find this program every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We also bring some travel good news. That's every Monday and Friday at noon. We release new videos every day at noon and 4 p.m. That's all on our YouTube channel. And once again, when it comes to the most important information, I've got a perfect suggestion for you. All right, are you with me on this? I want you to, we're going to get to who's on the show today in just a second. I'm just going to bring it in close. Yeah, come on. Just the two of us. Nobody, forget about everybody else. It's just us. Now look, if you want to help restart this economy, one of the best ways to do it is to take a vacation. Now hold up. I know what some of you are saying. I know what some of you are thinking. Maybe you're shouting at your iPads right now as we speak. I understand that maybe the finances are tight, the economy on shaky ground. I get it. I totally respect the fact that you may not have as much money as you would like to have. But I can tell you this. Remember, every dollar that you spend supports these local economies. And I'm not talking about a bucket list trip that you need to spend 3 years planning. You spend thousands of dollars. Fine. Maybe we don't have that right now. That's just fine. Maybe you stay a little closer to home. Maybe you drive. That's a concept that we're going to talk about. We released a brand new video on that this week talking about traveling local and how to do it. That is available at erikthetravelguy.com in addition to YouTube as well. So maybe you're going to take one of those trips. It doesn't really matter. But again, remember that these local economies are supported by people. And 1 in 10 jobs in the world is supported by the travel and tourism industry. 1 in 10. So yeah, you may be supporting that local economy, but what you're really doing is supporting the people of that economy. Now, we are going to do our part as we do every week, every day here on our YouTube channel. We release those new videos every day to try to help you. If you've never watched before, it is all about where to go, what to do, and where to stay, how to do that safely, all within the vacation ecosystem. That's what this program is all about. We also do Beyond Your Backyard, which is about ready to kick off its 3rd season. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Harry Watson, my brother, my work wife, my OB. He and I are dear, dear friends and have been for more than a decade working together. We learned this week that he has been nominated for a Daytime Emmy for his work on Beyond Your Backyard for, of all things, sound mixing. Check that out. That's right, we can say we have one of the best sounding travel shows in the United States, Beyond Your Backyard. But in all seriousness, it's one of those unsung things that we do on that program. So Harry, congratulations to you. You know I love you. And there are so many people that are supporting the work that you do, and we just appreciate it so much. Speaking of appreciation, here's who's on the program today. You may be wondering what's going on in the Caribbean these days. We're going to get an update from there. We're going to introduce you to a gentleman that you must meet from Fearless and Far. His name is Mike Corey. I'm going to tell you nothing else about him because you're just going to have to see this interview. And talk about staycations. Here it is, summertime. The unofficial start of summer is today, this particular weekend. And you may want to know how to make key lime pie at home. I am going to show you exactly how to do it with a world-renowned, award-winning expert from, where, you ask? Key West. That's right. All right, we're going to keep this short here today because we've got a lot to get to. We're going to start with a remarkable destination out west.
At the conclusion of each day, the sun sets as it has done since the dawn of time. The comforting cerulean blue sky gives way to vibrant shades of orange, red, and yellow. And if you take a moment to ponder, your thoughts may just take you to the American West, where a picture-perfect sunset is seen almost every night. And one of the world's most spectacular wonders is the Grand Canyon. This nature-made destination measures 277 miles long and up to 18 miles wide and more than a mile deep. Recent geological studies support the theory that the Colorado River established this course almost 6 million years ago. For thousands of years, Native American tribes have lived on these lands, and today, it's part of the National Park Service. More than 5 million visitors make their way to Grand Canyon National Park each year, and it's easy to see why. Billions of memories have been created here by generations from every corner of the globe. So take a second to remember, the Grand Canyon truly is a world wonder that's been picture perfect for an unimaginable test of time.
Wow. For millions of years, still an unbelievably beautiful destination here in the United States. And if you've not been, of course, I encourage you to do so, because as wonderful as the video is, there is absolutely no substitution for going to the Grand Canyon. And frankly, it doesn't really matter how you experience it. You could take a helicopter, see it from the air, maybe hang out at the national park on one of the rims, or you could do it on the canyon floor, which is also spectacular. But anything you do to take in those sights, it truly is a remarkable and beautiful place. Speaking of remarkable, yes, the king of transitions is here this afternoon. All of the subject matter that we discuss here on Beyond Your Backyard Now, which, by the way, I'm very grateful that you spend time with us each and every week. So thank you very much for being here. It's really, really important to me, so thank you for that. But all of this material is available on our YouTube channel. And that's at youtube.com/Erik The Travel Guy. We upload new videos every day at noon and 4 p.m. Eastern. But there's even more information on our website as well at erikthetravelguy.com. So you can sign up for our newsletter there. We do that, I think we do it once a month. But that's all that information is organized by destination. There's travel tips and hacks and how-tos. That's all at erikthetravelguy.com. Now, you may be wondering what is going on in the Caribbean these days. Good news, Guy Britton is here. He is the managing editor from Caribbean Journal, and specifically what's going on in the Bahamas. So he joins us on the Zoom. Guy, it's good to see you, and always good to have you here, my friend.
Erik, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, we need to talk about the Bahamas. First of all, in your opinion, you've been traveling around the world, certainly in the Caribbean specifically. Why do people go to the Bahamas?
It's so close. It's so easy to get to in many cases. Well, the other thing is there's 700 islands, right? So you have so many choices. And then the final thing that most people know about would be a place like Atlantis or Bahamas that have thousands of rooms that spend thousands and millions of dollars on advertising. So people are identified with that because they see the ads. Well, so the Bahamas has a bit of an advantage.
I was going to say, yeah, so they've got a proximity advantage. First of all, it's close, it's easy. They've got good airlift, meaning you can fly there easily, you can cruise there. And do I understand this correctly? You could take a ferry from Florida over there as well if you want to?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, from West Palm Beach, you can take one right over to Grand Bahama. That's only about 50 miles to west end of Grand Bahama. So the proximity is amazing.
But I think some people may be surprised even hearing that number of like 700 islands. Do people go to all of those islands? Because they hear a lot about Nassau, Freeport,
Right. But then there's a whole nother group of islands that's, known in the Bahamas as the Family Islands. And then we know them as the Bahamas Out Islands. And they are the smaller independent. There's about, I would say 30 of those that are, populated places, cool places to go, great destinations for fishing, for diving, and just for getting away from everybody, which I think everyone's going to want to do these days.
If you're really seeking a more authentic, that tourism infrastructure sort of folded into the landscape here, right? That sound about right?
Yes. I mean, infrastructure is not a word I would use to describe most of these small islands.
Right.
It's adventure would be more. So where the videos that we're going to look at today is all about this one destination called Andros, which is very close to Florida. And it's an amazing island that is intertwined with mangroves and limestone creeks that make it porous. There's 175 blue holes on Andros, that's inland, and another 50 blue holes around the surrounding area of the island. And it's some of the best bone fishing. So if you like that kind of thing, bone fishing, fly fishing, and offshore too, some of the best fishing anywhere in the world. And you've got, what's cool about it, there's a submarine base there called Autek. And the reason they put it there is there's a 6,000 foot drop right off the edge of the island. So they can take their submarines and go right down to test them. And that makes, there's sharks, huge sharks. It's an adventurer's, dream. And the place I stayed was Small Hope Bay Lodge, which is it's like summer camp for big kids, for adults. It's a fishing lodge, but it's more of an adventure lodge. So you can go do land adventures, fishing adventures, into the woods. They take you all kinds of places, or you can just lay on the beach.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Okay. See, this is why we're doing this segment, because I knew we had to, obviously you guys have been on the program, Caribbean Journal's been on the program before, because we want to talk a little about what you do. To me, there's no substitution for going there, but we also have a small problem in that, what's the status of the opening of the country as it relates to this pandemic? What are you hearing down there?
Good question. And there's, you'll hear different answers. There's, in the Caribbean, St. Lucia's opening up on June 4th. Let me look up on my board. Bahamas says July 1st, but even that is, tentative. They haven't really come out with an official statement yet.
Obviously, and people may not know this, but of course you're writing articles about that, and that is on your website. So people need to go there, and we'll put a link on ours as well. But what about the airlift? Is the air service
really good question.
The country's opening, or what?
Yeah, they are. Listen, the airlines want to get back in the air as soon as possible. As soon as these destinations open, there will be aircraft there, because there's pent-up demand, there's domestic travel, there's travelers that people need to go there that have brothers and sisters and family, so there's going to be a lot of travel as soon as they open the borders. Yes, and the way to get to, the way most people get to the Bahamas, even the out islands, is through Nassau or Freeport, and they'll take, JetBlue goes there, United goes there, American goes there, and then there's Bahamas Air, which is the national carrier of the Bahamas, flies out of South Florida. And then once you get to Nassau with Bahamas Air, they have the connector airlines to all of these other little these little islands.
Got it.
So and there's also a lot of independent. Like there's an airline called Makers Air out of Fort Lauderdale, and I think these guys are going to do very, very well, because people want to isolate. They want to have maybe a little more social distancing. They don't want to get on a big plane. So you can do that. There's Western Air that also flies back and forth. So, there's a lot of options. Staniel Key Yacht Club in the Bahamas Out Islands has its own airline. So they bring, that's, sort of an omni-channel, if you will, because they're controlling everything from the time you get to the FBO in Fort Lauderdale. You're clean and disinfected, taken care of all the way till you get to the resort. That's what I think people are going to be looking for.
Guy, I knew this was going to happen. Now, here we are. We're already out of time, because nobody wants to watch us visit, because I want to watch one of these videos. So which video are we going to watch here? What are we going to see here?
The most, I have 4 of these videos, but the one I like the best is the West Side Adventure. It's an all-day thing. They put you in a boat. It's a fishing boat, but you go across the island. It's 35 miles from one end. So you're going 60, 70 miles in one day, and you go all the way to the National Park. You go past a place called Al Capone's Bang Bang Club, where Al Capone used to hang out back there. There's a deserted airport back there.
Oh,
you fish, and then they catch the fish, and they put it on the grill, and they serve you lunch on a deserted island. And then they take.
So we're going to watch that. When you come back, can we talk about another part of the Caribbean when you come back on your next visit?
Let's do it in St. Martin, Antigua, Aruba, wherever you want to go.
Oh my God, I got to get more sunscreen. Guy, thank you for this. Good to see you again, my friend.
All right. Good to see you too, Eric. Thank you.
Some good-looking video there. I, too, am looking forward to getting back to the Caribbean as soon as humanly possible. Thanks to Caribbean Journal for that video, and thank you for the information as well. You are watching Beyond Your Backyard now. I am Erik the Travel Guy, and we have plenty more to get to. We're going to show you how to make key lime pie from an absolute expert. We will get to that in a matter of moments. I can tell you I did get a haircut, well, at least the back. I got a little bit of a situation here. At least I feel confident I can turn my head, at least on my own program. So that's helpful. Thank you to Michelle for that. I really appreciate it. Well, here we go. Mike Corey of Fearless and Far. He is an extreme adventure travel YouTuber and a television host of the BBC's The Travel Show on BBC World News. He joins us on the Zoom. My friend, it's nice to have you here. Thank you.
Like, it's good to be here.
You know, there's a good chance you might not make it to your next interview based on what I'm seeing that you do for a living.
Well, I have not been in one spot for so long in half a decade. So me, a traveler who usually travels 11 months out of the year, is now back at his glorious parents' house, who's now turned it into a travel shrine because obviously I can't leave the lifestyle.
All right, first of all, we have to talk about why do you do what you do? I mean, that to me, what makes you tick, man? You go to some of these festivals, you capture some of these things, and we're seeing some of it right now. Why do you do this?
Right. For myself, I've always been a curious kid, and I always loved explaining things to people that were misunderstood. And so in the beginning, when I was a kid, I was flipping over rocks, explaining why a lizard or a centipede was actually really cool, not so spooky after all. And then eventually I matured into with festivals and different events. So you'll find me going to Exploding Hammer festivals or orange fights and a lot of different things, eating some pretty funky stuff as well. But I love showing people how diverse the world is, because at least for myself, I grew up in a very small town here in the East Coast of Canada. And I think some people, if they feel like they don't fit, it's because maybe they don't fit that well, or at least the lens that they've been given by growing up in a certain community or in any part of the world wasn't the best fit. But by traveling, you can pick up bits and pieces from around the world and craft your own lens, and then you can finally find your place in the world. And I love talking about that and showing people some of the different extremes.
Well, and this also begs the question of, are you truly living your best life?
Yeah, well, I try anyway. I mean, not every day is a glorious day in the sun, obviously, when you're traveling that often. Even before the pandemic hit here, just at the beginning of March, I'd gone to 10 countries already before that, which is very difficult to get back into the country when they're like, where have you been in the past 2 months? I'm like, oh my God, everywhere. And it was like Yemen, it was Bangladesh, it was Mauritania, these countries that generally don't get a lot of tourist traffic. However, yeah, no, it's been good, man, but it's been a definitely big change.
Well, that being said, you also, it's safe to say, you do sort of live on the edge.
Yeah, well, my travel style isn't for everybody. I like to have people live vicariously through me. But so my online alias is Fearless and Far. It's an Instagram page. It's a YouTube page. And I chose the name Fearless because there's no person who was more fearful to speak publicly and to be in the spotlight than I was as a youngster. I had a traumatic experience. I was made fun of in front of a group of people, and I just grew up with anxiety attacks whenever I was even looked at by the teacher, for example. And now it's my lifestyle to be the center of attention, let's say, on television and on YouTube. And I'm very passionate about fear, and that's what keeps me going, is because I think this is a feeling we should walk towards, not walk away. And if you use it as a compass in life, you can really become your best self. Dangerous and scary are two different things, though. I never promote doing things that are reckless, but I think a lot of things are just misunderstood. I mean, like driving. Driving's a crazy, dangerous thing we do all the time. We just don't understand the risk. Whereas like bungee jumping, people, I think, sensationalize the risk there. So it's understanding what the real risk is. And again, we're using euphemisms here,
of course, which is fine. But somebody watching this interview and us just visiting about this, what do you say to people who do love to travel, and they travel for their own reasons because we're all individuals, about doing things that perhaps, stretch their boundaries of their comfort zone? What do you tell them? Well, I think that's the whole point of travel. And maybe someone can argue against me, but isn't the whole point of travel to go see new places and experience new things? And I think one problem that I have, and again, maybe not everyone will agree with me, but there's this big trend of luxury travel happening right now, to the extent where I had somebody
message me saying, I want to travel the world, but I can't afford to stay in resorts and I can't afford to, do all these like fly business and all these things they see travel influencers doing. And I was like, oh my Lord, is that what travel's become? Taking a cool Instagram photo. So if we can't sit on a beach with a Mai Tai and a beautiful girl in a bikini beside us, that's not travel. It's busted, man. And so for me, backpacking, staying in hostels, couch surfing, these things that you're like, oh, okay, that's the element. That is the magic of travel, because you come back home, you're more flexible, you've experienced more, you're more bulletproof to the stresses of life, and I think that's the point.
Well, I agree with that, and of course, we may not be seeking a shared experience, but let's be real here. When you attend a festival, when you go to a certain place, you are participating in a shared experience of whatever that is. However, you are experiencing it as an individual, but it's up to you to decide what to do with that.
Right, exactly, yeah. It's one of the most powerful, life-changing things in the entire world, the world is, and I think everyone should do it, because you will make your life better if you do choose to push yourself, for sure.
Will you come back and visit? You may be the most fascinating person I've talked to in the last hour.
Yeah, well, I just try to show people things that they haven't seen before, and so far, so good.
And by all accounts, you will still be there, as I will still be here, probably, so in another month. So
that's right.
Here we go. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Oh, my pleasure. Great to talk.
My name is Eric Hastings. Yeah, that's me. And for as long as I can remember, I've always loved to travel, and I still do today. But you know what I've learned? There's so much more that brings us together than divides us. Which is why I've made it my mission to do the very same things you can do, but to take you beyond the experiences, to uncover the soul of every place we visit. Let me introduce you to the people, the places, and the secrets that remind us how exciting it is to share with one another, to understand one another, and to realize just how connected we really are. I am Erik the Travel Guy, and this is Beyond Your Backyard.
New episodes of Beyond Your Backyard are coming soon. Check your local public broadcasting station, Amazon Prime, or ericthetravelguy.com.
Thank you for watching Beyond Your Backyard. Now, I am Erik the Travel Guy. Yes, think of me as your personal ray of sunshine in this proverbial darkness that is the worldwide health pandemic. No, we're not making fun of it. We're not making light of it. We're just coping. Some of us cope in different ways. Some of us hit the bottle. Some of us build gardens. Some of us do a lot of baking, a lot of cooking. But the idea of going local or traveling local or local travel is really a concept that's pretty easy to understand. Of course, we made an entire video about this. It's on our YouTube channel, and that may be a good option for you as the restrictions begin to be lifted. You're able to take some of these trips. Maybe it's a smaller trip. I don't want to go into great detail, but I can tell you it has something to do with drawing 3 concentric circles around your particular town, one at the 3-hour mark, one at the 6-hour mark, and one at the 9-hour mark, because I believe that's driving distance from your home. I think you can do 9 hours in a car in one day with relative ease. It's a long day, but of course that's a very personal choice for you. But like I said, we made an entire video about that. One of the places you can drive to, now it may be farther than 9 hours, is Key West, Florida, which is why we have all the products out here. You can see some of my personal favorites, and it's why I want to introduce you to Kermit Carpenter. And Kermit has perfected the ideal way to make key lime pie. So you can bring a little ray of sunshine into your own kitchen by making key lime pie. It's extremely easy. We were down there making an episode of Beyond Your Backyard, and I was absolutely floored by how easy it is with just 4 ingredients. So have a look. Kermit, how are you, man? Welcome to Kermit. I like your man already.
I want to talk a little bit about this guy. This is a key lime, right?
That's a key lime.
And obviously it's smaller than a regular lime. Are they grown here? Where are they grown?
Originally from Southeast Asia. The English were called limeys because they brought them all over the world and planted them because they found out when they put it in the barrels of water that you no longer got scurvy.
Really?
Yeah. So they're Mexico, it's a Mexican lime. Tahiti, it's a Tahitian lime. Key West lime.
And what's the difference if I pick up a regular lime versus a Key West lime?
The acidity. It's gonna, if you made a key lime pie with a regular lime, it's not gonna set up well because the acidity is not there, which is what curdles the milk, gives you that custard feel.
All right, so we're gonna make one of these pies.
You're gonna make a key lime pie.
Really?
Absolutely.
All right, what do we do?
Okay, 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk,
Okay,
6 egg yolks,
okay.
half a cup of juice, and a
Pie crust.
graham cracker crust. Or you could use a cookie crust if you don't have a graham cracker.
I like the graham cracker, that's a nice touch.
That's basic.
The temperature of the eggs, room temperature?
Room temperature.
Okay. How long does it take to bring an egg down to room temperature?
Not that long.
No?
An hour.
Hour or so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you start those mixing. We're gonna add 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk.
And again, I wasn't beating this for very long. Like, that's it.
Doesn't take much. You're just blending this up.
This is amazingly simple. Did I get this right? There's 150 products in your store with key lime in?
Correct.
What was that?
Key lime cookies, key lime candies, key lime sauces, key lime marinades, key lime moisturizer, bath gels, shampoos, soaps.
It's just like Forrest Gump. This is already starting to look like the right color.
Right. Now lift that up and see how thin though it is.
Oh,
Now you're
wow.
gonna see, we're gonna add the juice to that. You're gonna see the thickness change and the texture change.
And that's straight juice.
Straight key lime juice. Now as you're stirring that, you're gonna see the texture change because the juice and the chemical reaction with the milk,
Is almost instantaneous.
almost instantaneous.
Wow, you are not kidding.
Okay, that's ready to dump in the crust.
That's it?
Yep, you've made a key lime pie. Okay. Voila.
If I can do this,
Right.
anybody can do
Level it up a little bit.
this. Okay. How hot's the oven?
350 degrees, we're gonna do 20 minutes. Bring it right over here, we'll stuff it in the oven.
All right. So we have 20 minutes. We should
Okay.
sample some products.
Absolutely.
Gosh, look at this thing. This looks amazing. We're gonna cut it or we're gonna slice.
Oh, let's just dig in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's amazing. It's flavorful, it's light, it's dense, but it's not cakey.
Not overpowering.
No. You wanna try it? Come on, here you go. Take a bite.
I love that pie. I love Kermit, and he's working on a new recipe as well that has something to do with coconut. You must go to keylimeshop.com. You can get all of these products, the special juice, his Kermit super special key lime juice. Go there and have it shipped all right to your house, and you too can have a little ray of sunshine in your home during this pandemic. Thank you very much to everyone. Thanks to Guy, thanks to Mike, thanks to Kermit for being here, my guest this week. Don't forget, everything we do is online on our YouTube channel as well as ericthetravelguy.com. Thank you to the travel team because I love that little ding. That's funny. Because without them, this show would not exist. And hairstyles provided by Michelle Paris. So just want to get that in. Thank you very much for being here as well. Don't forget me. What? Oh, wait a minute. You wanted me to turn my head. I see what you did there. You wanted to see the back of my head for this ridiculous haircut. You will stop at nothing. Oh, I love it. All right, have a great week. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
It's ready.
I love the turn.
Yes, it's ready. Got it all prepared. It's finished. It's stunning. Yes, it's great. It's all so ready. So just let it all begin.